Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1004.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about that silver spike yesterday and how interest rates dropped, and where I see certain things going that aren't what they appear. I'm going to share with you some very interesting information today about what the markets might really be doing this week that looks a little bit differently from what you might be thinking. And by that, I mean, yesterday the price of oil was spiking and everybody was adjusting their targets higher, looking for oil to reach $125 for their next target. However, I think the spigots might be opening around the world and we might actually see oil prices drop in the near future. And that would be good news for inflation and good news for prices in general. That could trigger the bull market that I've been looking for in the second quarter. Yes, I think we're somewhere in a bottoming process here within the stock market. And whether we saw the bottom yesterday or whether we see it Thursday or possibly Friday, this was the week that I pointed out was going to be very volatile, March 1 through 6, and that it could be an amazing buying opportunity because from here, I see that the markets really do start to take off. And what's going to cause that is that reassessment of interest rates by the Fed, where the Fed originally was talking about multiple raises of interest rates this year. But since interest rates worked their way higher just by the jawboning, in fact, mortgage rates got as high as 1% more than last year already at 4.18% last week, but now are plummeting below 4%. That tells us that the Fed has already effectively raised interest rates just by talking about it and without actually making an announcement. But I do think they will raise by 25 basis points, 0.25%, and I think that will only happen a couple of times this year, not like the multiple times that many people are forecasting. And again, that's because just the jawboning of it raised interest rates enough. And now with the market decline, interest rates are going to move the other way. And also with the weakening of oil prices that I see happening soon, this is going to play into the inflation narrative in a positive way. Because when oil prices are so high, since energy is needed for everything, that tends to create more inflation of all goods, services, food prices, etc. But when oil prices turn around and start declining, well, the opposite is true. That means that energy prices are going down, and that will lead to lower costs of producing food and other products. So that's the big surprise that I think people aren't expecting is a drop in the price of oil coming soon. And not just oil and gas, both I think are going to drop soon as other producers come in and pick up the slack from the energy that used to be purchased from Russia. So what we also saw yesterday was silver reaching that $25 an ounce mark, which we haven't seen for a while, up 3.69% yesterday. Gold was up 1.65% to $1,940 an ounce. And the mining stocks, because they are leveraged to the price of gold and silver, saw some very nice gains. The large miners were up 3.72%, that's GDX. GDXJ, the junior miners were up 4.39%, and the silver junior miners were up 5.33%. This was a little bit before the market closed yesterday. While I'm still expecting silver to really take off in April, we could see a pullback before that happens. But the second and third quarters should be particularly strong for the metals. And this whole year, I think, is going to be amazing for the metals. Some of that is due to inflation fears. Some of that is due to currency issues. Some of that is due to government instability and threat of war. So all of those things are beneficial for precious metals. This is a year when they're all coming together. And that's why I think precious metals are going to particularly shine in the next 6 months, in quarter 2 and quarter 3 this year. So while we have this volatility on the 1st through the 6th, I think this is still a good buying opportunity. And buying the dips is going to be seen as a good decision once the stock market starts to really launch higher, which I think is coming up pretty soon. Again, that will happen due to the reassessment of interest rate hikes because we need fewer by the Fed. Rates are going to be lower than were anticipated at the beginning of the year. Possibly a peace plan is in the works. I think also COVID-19 concerns are going to be disappearing, which is going to open up the economy completely once again. People are going to be flying and traveling. And this was something I talked about in my forecast podcast, where I said this spring, probably by April, the market would be wide open again. People would be feeling better and COVID concerns would be really disappearing at that point. And the economy would be fully open again. So I think things are about to get much better, and this should be taken as a buying opportunity. Volatility is never a fun thing. It always feels uncomfortable. But this is what makes it the best time to buy bargains, because that's when the best investments go on sale and you can pick them up for lower prices. And I think we still have strong trends in technology, precious metals, and some of the other trends that we've been talking about, as well as some of the large cap growth names in the S&P 500. And these are all going to be good things to have in your portfolio. So when you can come in, buy the dip in spite of the fear, that's when you're going to be a contrarian investor and scoop up the bargains. And this is the time to do that. On the crypto side, we're getting into what I think is going to be a very strong 3 weeks of performance in March, up through about March 24th. I see really strong crypto prices coming back. We've already started to see crypto start to move up dramatically, double-digit gains on a couple of the last days in many cryptos, and we're starting to see funds flow back into the crypto market. So I think it's also an excellent time to be looking at crypto bargains. Look at the classic ISO 20022 cryptos for the new financial system. Look at adding quality like that to your crypto portfolio. And if you want to know more about those cryptocurrencies, check out my book, 3 Steps to Quantum Wealth, The Wealth Heiress's Guide to Financial Freedom by Investing in Cryptocurrencies. And once you've read the book, if you leave a review on Amazon, you're automatically entered into a drawing to win one of many prizes. I'm giving away 25 autographed copies of my book. I'm also giving away $100 of XRP cryptocurrency, a one-on-one wealth mentoring session with me, and lifetime access to the Be Wealthy and Smart VIP experience, my inner investing circle. All you need to do is leave a book review on Amazon for 3 Steps to Quantum Wealth and tune in on the March 7th podcast to see if you've won. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.